In order to arrive at the final starting point value, one of the first things we have to do is, if necessary, make an adjustment to the high card point value that you were dealt. And we do this by comparing aces and tens versus queens and jacks. The ace is an upgrader. The 10 is an upgrader. The queen is a downgrader. And the jack is a downgrader. Now what we do is we count the numbers of aces and tens in a hand versus the number of queens and jacks in a hand. And then we subtract the difference. And if the difference between those two numbers is equal to 3 or 4 or 5, then we have a substantial amount of difference to make, and we make an upgrade or a downgrade of 1 point. For instance, if we had 4 aces and tens and 1 queen in a hand, the difference between the two would be 3. So that means that there are sufficient spread between the aces and tens and the queens and jacks, and we would have to add a point, upgrade the total by 1 point. So our new face card point value would increase by 1. And we'll go along and we'll do some practice hands computing correction or amendment to the dealt face card point value. Let's say you were dealt 13 face card points. Well, based on the number of aces and tens in the hand and comparing them, we might devalue the hand by 1 point and you'd only have a 12-point hand. Or we might increase the value of a hand and it will become a 14-point hand. We'll show you how to do that in just a minute. These are the card combinations that require a takeaway of 1 point. These are the dubious doubletons and singletons that Marty Bergen refers to. Anytime you have a doubleton of a king-queen, -1. Anytime you have a doubleton of a king-jack, -1. Anytime you have a doubleton combination of queen-jack, -1. Anytime you have a combination of queen-x, -1. Jack-x, -1. And in the lower right-hand corner, if you have a singleton king, or a singleton queen, or a singleton jack, -1. Be on the lookout for these. These are very important. You need to take points away for these combinations. Don't forget that. Alright, we made a few more changes with this hand. Notice we went back to the 4-card spade suit. We took away the jack of hearts as before, but we added the jack of clubs to our doubleton. Let's see what each of these changes can do to the value of a hand. We are dealt 6, 10, 14 face card points. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades, aces and tens, versus 2 downgrades for a difference of 3. Because of this, we are obligated to make an adjustment, add a point to the value of the face card points. So now we have 6, 10, 14, 15 point hand. Now we check our shortness and see we have a doubleton. This is a dubious doubleton according to Marty Bergen. This is a -1 for the this particular doubleton. So now we are back down to 14 points. Now, the one category that we haven't shown yet is sitting in the spade suit. We have a 4-card spade suit. You must have a 4-card suit. We have 3 of the top 5 honors of that suit. This is worth a point. So now the value of our hand goes back up to 15. We have 15 starting points prior to the beginning of the auction. We open again 1 no trump instead of 1 diamond. It does make a difference, and it's there. It'll make. Don't think it doesn't. When you start thinking that way, you're in a misconception. No doubt about that. Now let's look at a hand where suit length will have a difference on the value of the hand. Notice we've taken away from the first hand 1 of the spades, and we added a diamond to make the diamond suit a 5-card suit. We also took away the jack of hearts. This hand was dealt 13 high card points. Still, everyone would prefer to open the bidding 1 diamond. However, I see a lot of upgraders versus downgraders. Let's see if we need to make an adjustment. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgraders versus 1 downgrader. The difference between the two is 4. We have sufficient reason to make an adjustment of adding 1 point to the 13 high card points. This hand is now worth 14 points. Now, do we have any doubletons that would take away from the value of the hand? No, we don't. This is a good doubleton. The king, 7 of clubs. Do we have any suit length points? Yes, we do. We have a 5-card diamond suit. Now our 13-point hand is worth 15 points. Uh-oh. Open. 1 no trump. Now, most of the folks who are not used to this are going to start thinking, well, I'm taking a 13-point hand and opening 1 no trump, and I'm stretching this thing, and I'm not going to make it. Not true. Not so. This is one of the many misconceptions in bridge counting value points. You give this hand the values necessary for the aces and tens and the values of the trick-taking abilities of the 5-card diamond suit, and you have a hand that's performing at the level of 15 face card points. Yes, it is there. Believe me, it is there.